Christ is our leader. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Daddy, for this opportunity given to me. My name is Chiaka Kelechi Franklin, and popularly known as Mr. Dyslexia Clinic. As you can see, this is dyslexia, sir. Dyslexia, we are here to tell you about dyslexia because we don't really know what dyslexia is in this part of the world. Dyslexia is a neurological disorder or a phonological disorder. But for a layman understanding, you could say that dyslexia is a language development disorder or impairment. Now, why are we bringing this now before I go further? Now, I want you to know that there are some kids that will find it difficult to talk at their early age. And you think, what is wrong with this child? Some of you may think it's even a spiritual issue, and you start looking for places or churches to take the child to. Now, you find the child at the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, when maybe his parent might have started talking, and you'll be like, what is the problem? Now, this might be signs of dyslexia. Now, a child might find it difficult to read. When that child is even intelligent on a norm, you know that this child is bright. Every other thing the child is doing well. But why is the child finding it difficult to read, or write, or spell? And you think it's because the child is lazy. You think it's because the child is not concentrating. You think it's because the child is playful. Please note, a child is supposed to play. It's very important to note this. That is how they learn best. Just like how adults learn in a corporate way, that is how children learn through play. That aside, that is dyslexia. When you call them to come and read, for instance, in the presence of persons, they fidget, they shiver. Sometimes they want to rebel. They just want to know we are not doing. It is just those things are signs of dyslexia. Unfortunately, the reason we are doing this is because most kids are being abused in their schools. And that is why we are doing this. And that is why it is very important we pass this information. Fine, you might not recognize dyslexia easily or a dyslexic child easily. Reason being that they don't look like autistic children. It's not something one can easily see when looking at the child. I'm actually dyslexic, but you might not know. That's the truth. You understand? You won't know. Except the person has been diagnosed. You won't know who is dyslexic. And that's why we are here to tell you. Most kids are going through abuse, emotional abuse. They go through stigmatization. Sometimes they spank them when they are not supposed to. Because they don't even know what is wrong with them. And that's why we are bringing this to you. When we were little, let me give you a story. Apparently, we'll be rounding off with the story. And this story goes this way. When I was little, in basic school, I couldn't read and write like my parents. In fact, I couldn't talk till I was age 4, according to my mom. And when I started talking, it wasn't clear. I was calling champion, yampon. If I to say I will follow you, I used to say I will talk to you. So because of the fact that I wasn't like my parents, though I was intelligent like every other child, but I couldn't read and write. That stigma was there. They called my title in school then was Mumu. Mumu in Yoruba word means stupid. I grew up in Lagos, Mushu precisely. Now there was a friend that Mubarak. There was a friend called Mubarak that had almost the same symptoms. We didn't know what was wrong with us. He was also having the same symptoms like me. We were also facing through that stigma in school. But unfortunately for him, there was nobody at home to encourage him the way my mom was always encouraging me. My mom was always saying, Casey, you too much. Every little thing I did right, she will always be there to say, Casey, you too much. And that thing will give me confidence and make me believe in myself that, yes, I can do something. Maybe there was nobody there. And that was how Mubarak started moving with the wrong crowd. Started moving with some bad kids, And that was how he got aggravated. He started moving with hoodlums. Unfortunately for him, he was shot dead by some persons because he joined cultism. Now, this is the part that pained me most. The part that pained me most was because he stopped those rude life, and that was when they came for him. He became a fashion designer and a tailor, and he became known in the name of Oshodi Solo and Mushi local government. They know Mubarak, sorry. And that was how people started coming close to him, giving him job, and he decided to start dissociating himself with those bad people. But when he started moving with the right people, they shot him. Now my message is this: dyslexics are always creative. Dyslexics are people with great imagination. The brain is divided into two parts: the left and the right hemispheres. Now this right hemispheres is where the dyslexics perform well. The neurons that functions here, this right part of the brain, is the neurons that are always active for dyslexics. This part of the brain has to do with reading, writing, spellings. Dyslexics don't function with this part of the brain. And that is why, just like Richard Branson, the virgins, the CEO of virgins, just like Tommy Hilfiger, you and I know them. Just like even Thomas Edison, the one that invented the light bulb, they were dyslexics. Yes, but just like Richard Branson said, is dyslexia. Most of the time, youth grow up not knowing what is wrong with them. I got to know about dyslexia when I already got to campus. At my year 3, psychology of human learning. That was when I realized in Unilag. That was when I realized I was dyslexic. When the professor was teaching and I was seeing myself in those futures, I said, no, this is me. I never knew what was wrong with me, had a name. And all this while I've been going through what we call identity crisis. I've been having this low self-esteem because I didn't know my problems. But thank God for the grace I got from my mom, and thank God for the people around me. If not, I probably would have been like every other kid out there that didn't know what to do. And that was when I realized that, yes, I actually have a community of great people. And I went to read about them, and I realized that great people are dyslexic. George Washington, it was also alleged that he was also dyslexic, because almost the symptoms he had then was the same thing dyslexics go through. So I want to bring this, the reason we are bringing this to your cognizance is because dyslexia is real. It is because 15, according to International Dyslexia Association, we have up to 15 to 20% of the global population having dyslexia. Now, if we are to bring it down to our statistics, you can easily say that we have up to 43 million Nigerians having dyslexia. But unfortunately, most people don't know what dyslexia is. I'm an education and child development therapist. I can tell you this for free. I've met parents that almost, some of them almost took their child to a celestial church, for instance, just because they thought what was wrong with the child was a spiritual problem, not knowing it is dyslexia. So I want to encourage us to please have this in our cognizance. Please put this somewhere in our mind that dyslexia exists. So whenever you find a child having these symptoms, don't kill the child more. The child is a great person. We function more with creativity. We create ideas. We might not be good with reading and writing, just like I said, because this brain, we function well with the right hemisphere, not with the left hemisphere. So please, if you have a child having the same issues, please take note, it might be dyslexia. Try to consult a therapist so that they can carry out the test on the child and be sure of what is wrong with the child, instead of spanking the child, beating the child, or emotionally abusing that child. Thank you very much.
Same hope. I want to thank you, my brother, for taking on this challenge. I want to have a staff, very, very creative. She can do anything that you have to do with your hands, but recording was not her own side. And for a long time, she was hiding that thing. Until one day, she met me in the office and said, "Do you know, each time you request for a report, I go home to sit down with my younger sister and she writes the report I present to you." She excuse me. He said yes. That she finds it difficult writing. That sometimes she will pick a Bible and everything she knows in her brain disappears to write. But ask her to do something, she feels like she do it perfectly well. She didn't even know what the problem is. That she has had this problem. The mother was in the teacher. They beat her, and got tired of beating her. But it is not something like that. At that point, I didn't know what it was. Until I met another friend who explained the parents, the father was a professor in UNN. The mother, they lived in the university. And all the children were right, except that young lady. She could not write. They managed to pass her through school, and she spent two times the amount of whatever in the university to come out as a graduate. But even at that, writing has never been an issue. It was recently that she discovered that she was dyslexic. And then they now came to explain to the family. Everybody were crying, and we had held, insulted, and did all manner of things. They had to beat and beat. They saw him, no, all manner of things. God has to beat, did all manner of things. But the lady I'm talking about right now, she opened a shoe factory, and she will come in big shoe you see, the shoe that you can buy abroad. She prepares in Abuja now. The lady I'm talking about prepares handbag and all that. Her company produces handbag and give to people. When they finish, sometimes people will come and say, put the label for indicating, put the label on this one, and then she can do it, and she's making a whole lot now. So having said this, brother, like I told you, I will host you on Radio Maria. So we'll talk about this here, so that parents who are having children with this issue will understand and they help the child develop well. It is a wonderful thing that you are taking it upon yourself to share this experience. And like I said, we're going to host you on Radio Maria free of charge. We're not going to pay for it. Yeah? So you come and talk about it. I'll give you a call.
Yes, sir.
And all that. And then maybe another forum when we want to discuss, we invite you to come and talk to you. Now that you are in there, you can now guide the parents are having this issue. They will connect you. Thank you very much and God bless you.